I think Mother knew. "Who's that by the casket?" I turned and quizzed my brothers discreetly as the mourners filed in. "Well, that's old Jacob Wrigley," one replied, "a friend of Mother's, and who, I think, for many years has been helping us financially. He owns the grocery store, and, as we know, Mom was not that great at keeping up with monthly bills, a never-ending war, and I suspect that half the food we ate likely found its way to us, thanks to Mr. Wrigley, free of charge, 'cause Mom would often say, 'Once again our bill seems awfully small from Piggly Wiggly, which ought to be the biggest one to pay.' And Wrigley also owns, as you may know, the J.C. Penney. I'm pretty sure he helped with clothing, too. In fact, except for Christmas and our birthdays, there weren't many shirts or pants we came to own brand new that Jacob didn't pull some strings to sell to her at prices that no one else in Buxton ever got. I used to think the reason that he'd always been so nice is he knew that we were struggling, but it's not. In truth, it never dawned on me there might be some connection between the night that Father passed away and when the seemingly help with bills began. But upon reflection, it seems that it began that very day. Then, a year ago, I learned that Mom had been adopted, given up when she was only 2. Lying to her child's dad, the teenage girl had opted to move away, and so he never knew anything at all about her pregnancy, you see, nor learned about the baby that she'd had. And like the outcomes found in tales like this one tend to be, for years he didn't know he was a dad. But Mrs. Kessler, Mother's nurse, in fairly great detail, back in late December, broke the news that as a troubled youth he'd spent a couple years in jail, which changed his ways, and, having paid his dues, he'd set his sights on doing good, with Jesus by his side, and focused on atoning for his sins, having figured out at last the pregnant girl had lied. He aimed at making up for would-have-beens. And given all he's done to help us out, if nothing more, then how he saved us money like he did. Each of us has many things to tell him thank you for, and I'm convinced that Mother was his kid. I also think because he'd been the victim of a lie, then went astray, which filled his heart with shame. He did so much to help us out, but never told her why, and how much he had wished she'd shared his name. But I, for one, if what I'm simply guessing at is so, believe it's time we ask the guy, don't you? I'll bet you both a tenner he'll be thrilled to learn we know, and another 5 apiece that Mother knew.